Welcome to Yeshiva Dasher, sponsor of Mishma Sam Yaakov Shalom Rabba Sitzchok. We're holding in Shavuos Daf Lamed Tes. We're starting in the bottom of the Yechezkel base. The Gemara says, Shavuos Adayonim Afhi B'Lishoino Nemru, meaning, in any lashon that he understands, that's how you say the Shavuos Adayonim. Shavuos Adayonim, we're talking about now in the new parak. When a person denies some of the chiyuvim that he has, person says, you chayav 100, he says, I chayav only 50, he's more than mikzas, so the yonim give him a shvu. So b'lashon nemra means b'chol loshos, the Gemara will explain in a moment. Omim loy, heavy yodea, you should know. You should know, with that flates on the top, shechol oilom kuloin is da zeya b'shor shema kodesh baruch hu b'sinai. The whole world was shooken up when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said not to do a Shavuos Shav. So it's a very double chomer b'yosef. This brings it earlier as well. The idea that the chumrah of Shavuos more than anything else is that Shavuos really shook the world. All the Averish Batur it says v'nake. It says the woman lo yinake is the person who's going to do Shavuos Shav. They punish him only. Here they punish him and his family. Don't tell your mouth, don't allow your mouth by doing a shvuah to cause a hate to your basar. What's a basar? In basar his family. Shemar b'bsarcha lo yisisal. They punish him, and here they punish him and the whole world. Shnema Allah v'kichesh, and the pasuk says, "V'atzoyach leganoi portzu b'domim b'domim nago." So from here you learn that it causes to the whole world. Says the Gemara, "Behema David lekulu." This Gemara, the question of this set that you said it over here on the end of the Vilna Gaon, it says it later, but it says there's a whole list of things it says in that pasuk. Allah is a shvuah, v'kichesh, v'atzoyach, killing, v'ganoiv, stealing, v'noiv. So he says, "Ve'imad of the kuloi." It's like that. Of the hearts. It says in the pasuk, "Keep Allah." So pray Allah of the hearts. In other words, the main thing is the Allah is a shvuah. And then it says that we spoke about the Tevel Haaretz, and we said the whole world will be destroyed from it. And that's the pasuk we tried to get to when we're saying the idea that it's for the whole world. He has a schus to hold on for a generation, two, 3 generations. If they come the firm in altar, he gets punished right away. Shemar, it says Sion u'mashem tzvokois uvo beis haganov, goes to the house of the ganov beis hanishba b'shvil sheker. A lot of the base goes to his house, a kill toy vs 8 of his savonov. For it's sealed the altar, happens right away. While a beast of Zakon das a Bruce Shane moment, it's a Chaver. He said, I don't have he's trying to lie about the fact that he owes money to somebody else. The Toyano Meshbio, he makes a shvuah. For the base of Nishma sheker kemashvuah, then he does a shvuah sheker. The lot of the base of he kills his 8 of his savonov. Things that water and fire don't burn, don't destroy. Stone. So we have here a whole musashmus. You give a person who's a nishba. How chomer is nishba sheker? It's so chomer. It's so bad. It's so zazu. It's such a big punishment. Imamar ain't nishba. He says, okay, you know what? I'm not going to do shvuah. After you give me such a mus, I'm not giving shvuah. The right away, let him go. If he says, no, I want to do shvuah. They say the words, get away from the Rosh. We're not much be you on your das. You want it's based on the das of Kodesh Baruch Hu and basic. Shekatzin Moshe Rabbeinu kishishbiya es Yisrael Omar and do shlo al daischem and yishbiya eschem. I'm not doing the shvuah based on your das, al das samokar al daisi, based on my das. Sheneimar v'lo itchem levatchem. I was going to explain it soon in a moment. How do we know that they are also included in this shul? Even the ones that are not here. That's the mitzvahs that are near Sinai. Mitzvah Shatzidus is Chadesh. How do you know Moshe did a shvuah for them and all that? So the Mekayim Megillah were already, there was accepted in Sinai. My Avibel Shoyno Nemer. What is going now? That was the Brisa. Nothing more goes on to explain the Brisa. My Ibel Shoyno Nemer was in the Lashon. These are things you can say in any language. Pasha Saito. You say in every language. Vidu Meiser. Vidu they do and bring Meiser to Yerushalayim. Kriya Shema. Fitfilo. Ubrikas Hamozen. Shavuos Eid. Shavuos Abikodim. So these Shavuos you're saying you could do it in any language. So here the Brisa tells you, Kol Nami Shavuos the Yonim Avibil Shoy Nemer is also can be said in any lashon. Omar Omrim Lo Yevi Yodeya Shekol Oilom Kuloi Nizdazo B'Shosh Kosh Baruch Hu Sisa Shemash Kerol Shop. The whole world shook it up. My time, what's the reason there was such a shake? Ilam Shudisab is Sinai because it was in Sinai. And said Dibur is not Misav. So all 10 Diburs are in Sinai. Elam Mishum Nechamir because it's so chomer. Michamir Banan Elim Kolois. What's the Kolois? Asav Leitza say Chutz Melisiso. Lisiso is not part of the Kolois. Chamura is a Christmas basic, but Lisiso Imoin. So you see, it's not so chomer. It's the same. It's equivalent to Karmas Mises basic. That's the reason so chomer. It's more. He says it says it was there so there's lo yinake. Don't say you'll clean. It says lo yinake. As menake are the ones who do tshuva, not the ones who don't do tshuva. The punishment is family. You want to tell me the family is not punishing other Averis? It says clearly the Yeshua punishes the Mishpacha as well. Regarding the Moilech. Why went from the Mishpacha? If you have a moiches is a tax collector that used to be that was stealing, they all considered to be moiches. Vishesh listim, there's a thief. Shem kulan listim. Why? Because they're coming up for him. Also bedina achina. This is more. I'll tell you the difference. When we say before that you have that the mishpachtoi is a different thing, not the same punishment. But here they're going to get the same punishment he's going to get. The fish in my is ponai. When we speak about moilech, he said he gets chorus. The whole family gets chorus as well. To oiso be chorus. The kol hamishpacha kulo be chorus. So don't get the same punishment he gets. Here the punishment, the whole world. And you bring the pasuk. Here the pasuk question. That's according to the Gra. That's what you go with this sentence we said before. Why are you telling me that all the Averis, you don't have other people getting punished? You say everybody's Similar from the base. There, as we learn in Sanhedrin, when do you say when they were supposed to stop him from doing the Avera, they're supposed to do a mechor, he didn't do the mechor. So now that we say that you have him, you have his family, you have other people. So ben tzaddik and ishpach tzaddik the almo, or so the Rishonim and tzaddikim. What is the difference between all of them? It says more like this: b'shar veros bedini. Other averos he gets his punishment. For Rishonim ishpach, the Rishonim ishpach they could have stopped and not stop him bedini chomer. They get another punishment, not the same punishment, but different punishment. For Rishonim the almo bedini kah, they get also punishment, but a lighter punishment. He and the family that could have stopped him get the same punishment. They get a chomer. The tzaddikim also get punished just to get a lighter punishment, and that's why you see Shavuos is so much chomer. The punishment is so much more severe that even tzaddikim get punished. So when one man Yishba put him moist miyad, let him go. V'yamar in Yishba ha'im nisham ha'im zelazeh sur na me'al ohale anoshim or me'el. Again, the Bryce quoted this. Bishma hu de kamishtabe kai be'suru. Hela hu de kamishtabe le'imai. We say suru me'ole anoshim ha'el. You're the two people. What are the two people? Meaning the two are doing something bad. The one who's saying the shur and the one who's asking him to say the shur. Says why? When one is asking a shur from somebody else, the shur is chal on him too, and if it's a shur sheker, so he's involved as well. Because you read this we saw earlier. Kind of is that by Rava one time there was a person who said, I owe. So Reuben told Shimon, you owe me money. So Shimon said, I returned it to you. Says, come to Shua and Bezdin. So Shua said, okay. When he comes to Bezdin, he gave a stick to Reuben to hold. And he said, Shua, I gave back the money to Reuben. Then they found out there was money in the stick. So he didn't do Shua sheker. Because when he said Shua, he meant I gave you the money through the stick. So that's what it means. You have to have Vishukayin Derova. Derova means you need to have the person should have other thoughts. So we say Al Das Samakoim, Al Das Bezin has to be the Das of everybody else. Hold on a second, the charger fell out. Sorry. So, says the Gemara, Hatayna Shtei Kesef. Now going back to the Mishnah said that the claim is 2 Kesef, and the counterclaim, the person has to be Moide on a Pruto. Omarav Kfiras Taino Shtei Kesef. The Kfira itself has to be Shtei Kesef, meaning that what he needs to deny Shtei Kesef. So what does it mean in practice? The Toyen, the Toiveya, the claim, needs to be Shtei Kesef plus a Pruto. And the guy says, I'm Moide a Pruto, and I'm denying Shtei Kesef. He needs to be, his denial is a minimum of Shtei Kesef. Shmuel I know. Taina also Shtei Kesef. I feel the kofar ele Pruto, velo yod ele Pruto chayav. Shmuel says, no, as long as the claim is Shtei Kesef, even though he's not denying Shtei Kesef, he's denying only a Pruto. He's still chayav. The Mishnah sounds like Rav, but the Pasuk sounds like Shmuel. It says the claim is 2 kesef, the admission is a Pruto. If you look, Kfiras Tainas Pruto like Tainas, it doesn't say how much the Kfira needs to be. Right? So, right, it doesn't say what it is. So, Mashman like Rav, that the Kfira has to be Shtei Kesef. It doesn't say the Kfira can be Pruto as well. But now Nami Aoido be Pruto. Says the admission is a Pruto. If the Kfira Pruto like that, it doesn't say you can deny a Pruto. So, Mashman, you can't deny a Pruto, but you could, because you need to deny at least Shtei Kesef. V'koi can say the Shmuel, the Psuki Mashma like Shmuel. Why? Because it says the Chtiv ki itenish elireu kesef or kelim lishmor. It says it gives him money or a vessel to keep. Ma kelim shnayim of kesef shnayim. Kesef has to be 2 shtei kesef. Ma kesef dovachoshuv kol dovachoshuv. We'll see in a moment. In other words, this right kiuzeh that he claims shtei kesef and he denied some of it. Doesn't say he has to deny the whole Shtei Kesef. Kiuzeh tells you need to don't deny the whole thing. If you deny the whole thing, is no shul. Only if he denies partial, mikzah time. Shmuel chtiv hu v'chtiv zeh, ti'ikover b'mikzah as void mikzah chayav. So Shmuel says, it says, ki hu zeh, to tell you both, ki hu zeh, it needs to be a kfir b'mikzah, and Mo'odah b'mikzas, and as well you learn the other thing that could be even the smallest amount. Says the Gemara. Okay, says the Gemara. There's 2 things. One that the Oidah has to be a partial something, but it also has to be the same. In other words, he's claiming wheat, he says wheat. Claimed wheat, and he answered barley, no. Says yes. Okay, so Lemaise, in the end of the day, you see over here, don't you see from here, that the first time that he was talking in Shtei Kesef, he's saying not all that I agree with it. He's not denying the whole thing, not denying Shtei Kesef. So much like Shmuel. So the whole question on Rav. When it says kesef, doesn't mean kesef he's claiming kesef. Claiming means that he denies kesef. Why? Just say vessels. Just say kelim. Why have to say kesef? Kesef because of chmona lamali. Why have to say kesef? The reason it says kesef, not to tell you that's the claim. The claim I can know on my own. It's for the denial has to be shtei kesef. Vishwol amalecha. Because of one kelim, because of kesef, you would say not kesef amino ma kelim shtayim kol shtayim. Avador choshul obin is that to be something important, can be something even which is not important. Kamash malan, they need to be dover chosh. That's why it says kesef. So the Gemara brings a rayas in his doich. So he says, 2 kesef yomi, he says only pruto. My time, why is he potter? The Gemara understands this sentence in the Mishnah that we saw in the previous daf, that he said, you owe me a lot of money. He says, only a little bit, but he's not denying the full shtei kesef. In other words, he's not asking for the value of the money. He's asking for the actual coins. He says, I want from you $200 bills. And he says, no, but I owe you a quarter. I owe you 1/4, the coin of a quarter. So we're not talking about the value, talking about the actual monies, and that's why it has to be minatayim. Look at the next part. The claim was 2 kesef and a pruto. He answers only pruto chayav. Understand what he's chayav? He asks to kesef and a pruto. He said only pruto. He has to take us in a pruto, and he is void only in a pruto. So when we do time in Shmuel, this we'll see Be'ez Hashem later in the next half. But what the more understands the question that if he's saying you owe me wheat and barley, and he says I owe you only barley, that's not called minatayna, because he's not admitting anything they told him. He's meaning, you look at it, he asked for wheat and he asked for barley. Barley, he admitted, wheat not. It's not a mixed time. Someone said, I'm saving my money. He said, you owe me $100 in a quarter. He said, I agree a quarter. So the quarter was more than $100. So when Bashua himself holds what a person claims wheat and barley, and he's more than barley is considered to be one big claim, and he's more than a mixas, so he is more than a mixas. So it makes sense. With the Ketani say, we look at the next part of the Mishnah. Litra zov yesh to biyotcho. You have a litra zov, and lecha biyodi a litra kesef. He says no, it's silver pot. Even if we talk about the item itself and not the value. Shrachi potter. He has the gold. He got silver. You know what? Shabeh talk about the worth. And my potter litra tuva avet. He's asking for the amount of money, and he admits part of it. Element the sefer davko rishadami davko. Suppose you see the sefer in the Mishnah, we talk about not the value, but we talk about the actual gold and silver. So in the Mishnah, talk about the coins, talk about the actual coin. Leimot, you have it to the Rav. Here's the question of Rav. Temashra over here, that's Tafka Benach, take it. So Rav, Kul Mastisin Shove. Says no, really Mishnah is Shove, and that's why the time is not a good time, because you have to have a denial of Shtei Kesef. For Litruzov Shani, that we talk about a certain weight of gold, then we are talking about the value. So what I meant with the Katani Seifel, Dino Zov Libiotcho, and the Chabiodia Ladino Kesef, the Tirsis, Upunion, Upruto, Chayav. Right? He says, you owe me a golden coin. He says, no, it's a silver, and he gives him a whole list of coins. Chayav Shakol Mimad Be'achas, it's all the same coin. In other words, all the same currency. You know, you talk about a worth, because he's talking about a worth of $200. He says, oh, you only want 172. Right? So why is it chayav if he's talking dafka? Says the Gemara, what he says, what? He didn't come and say coins or weight. He said He said, I want coins. And he agreed to the coins. Just even though this is silver, this is copper, but it's coins. Different than the beginning, that maybe could have been specific items. The Kamash the pruto b'chalal b'yad. What's the chiddush? That a pruto is a coin. I would think the coins means more valuable coins, but pruto is maybe less value. It's also part of the b'chalal b'yad iso. They kanami diktani shakol min mad be'achas. Mashma, they all have the din of coins. Rav that didn't explain coins. He explained that we're talking about value. Shakol din mad be'achas. Right, meaning that he says that that not talking about they're all coins, but they all have the din of the same thing because we're talking about the same currency. Says the Gemara, one last sentence over here. Rabbi Elazar, laying with the Sefer Kishmuel, we're explaining the Sefer like Shmuel. So we're talking about he wants the coin, and that's what he's asking for, not the value. Reish Rabbi Kishmuel Svir Alei is also the beginning explaining like Shmuel. So we're not talking about the value. So the more loy Sefer Davko the Tani Shakol Min Be'achas Reish Rabbi Kishmuel. Not only the Sefer agrees with Shmuel because it says Be'achas. I was talking about the coins, the actual what's called a coin. But the ratio that we're talking about, just regular coins, so there maybe you can explain like Shmuel, they want the value. Or whether we talk about the actual coins, I want dollar bill, quarters, whatever. Or like Rav, we talk about the value, and the reason it's not a good shvuah, because he did not deny shtei kesef. We'll stop over here, and Be'ez Hashem continue from here tomorrow night. Have a wonderful night. Kol tov.